Mamas, good morning and welcome to Mom Genius Monday, where we don't do perfect, we do what works. If you're a new mom, a tired mom, or maybe even I love my kids, but please don't touch me right now, mom, this space is for you. No Pinterest pressure, no you'll bounce back nonsense. And definitely, there ain't no pretending that we have it all together. This is real life mom genius. And honestly, genius just means you figured out what works for you. If you're in survival mode, welcome. If you're in what just happened to my baby, welcome. Or somewhere in between with toddlers on your legs, preteens rolling their eyes, or the teenagers who suddenly know everything, welcome. Maybe you're just trying to figure out how you got here. Well, pull up a chair, grab your coffee, water, or whatever you've reheated for the third time today, and let's do this. I'm going to start with nobody has it all together. I feel like this cannot be said enough. Not the moms on social media, or the ones that look calm in public in the grocery store, and not even the moms with color coded calendars. They just figured out what's important for them and what they can let go of. When you become a mom, there's this pressure to do it right, to do it all, and to enjoy every single bit of it, every minute of every day. Well, let me set you free. You can love your kids deeply and still be exhausted, overwhelmed, and slightly confused about how your life got flipped upside down. Y'all want to laugh? Give me just a second. I made a song. Okay, I'm going to mess this up. Okay. Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the Grinch with a head full of gray hair. Thank you, thank you. I'll be here all week. Okay, let's get real. I really actually have some tips. So, a universal mom rule: take care of yourself first. This is so you don't fall apart later. And don't feel bad for doing that either. Like, I'm talking before you get the diaper bag ready, before you head out in the carpool, or you tackle the homework help or the homeschool help, ask yourself, have I eaten? Do I need water? Some coffee? Did I breathe? Overwhelmed moms, we react. Regulated moms, we respond. It doesn't have to be fancy to practice self care. Maybe for you, it's just sitting down for a minute or locking the bathroom door or actually eating your snack instead of giving it to one of your kids. That ain't selfish. That's survival wisdom. Or just simply giving yourself fewer decisions because disease, decision fatigue is real. Disease fatigue is real too, just coming from a type 1 diabetic. But it's okay to have like a repeat breakfast 2 or 3 days a week. Frozen waffles are totally fine. Or having the same grocery store list weekly, changing one or two things up. Establishing a bedtime routine. These will save your sanity and save time, and they're not selfish. Okay, now let me give some hard truths to the new moms, and maybe a reminder for the rest of us. If your baby is fed and safe, today is a success. It doesn't matter if we wore the same clothes we wore yesterday, it is a success. Count it. If you cried today, you're not weak. You're adjusting, and you do not have to feel bad for this or explain yourself. If you if you miss your old life, you're not a monster. And that doesn't mean you love your baby any less, because motherhood, it changes you. And change, whether it's good or bad, it's hard. So give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to grow without rushing yourself. But if no one has told you lately, let me be the one to do it. You are doing better than you think. Great moms are not made from perfection. And you are allowed to find shortcuts that make your life easier. And you are allowed to ask for help and not feel guilty for it. It's not lazy. It's straight up mom genius. Alrighty, let's talk about them toddlers. Those tiny humans with big emotions and absolutely no impulse control. They don't do good with long explanations. Simple language, consistency, and calm energy. The calmer you stay, the faster they settle. And not everything needs your energy. If it's not dangerous, disrespectful, or destructive, let it be if you can. Save that energy for the important stuff, because there's going to be a lot of that too. Toddlers struggle with sudden stops or changes. They're like a they're like a squirrel. You can't make sudden movements. You'll scare them. So try giving them warnings like 5 more minutes, 2 more turns, or this is the last one. And they're not good with time management. So you could be crazy and silly and be like, you've got 65 minutes, okay? They'll think you're giving them like this obscene amount of time when really you're only giving them two. They're going to have meltdowns. It's not going to be a success every time. And if they have meltdowns, you did not fail. You are raising tiny little humans with feelings that are bigger than they are. Talk to them. They're listening, even if you don't think they are. And I guarantee you, they will prove that to you in the checkout line. Talk to them in funny voices. It gets their attention. Ah, the preteen years, where independence meets insecurity and some more big feelings. I know, again, right? They don't they don't always want answers. They just want to know we hear them and they're important, because this is the time when they're not a little kid, but they're not a teenager yet. So a lot of times they feel older than they are, and we still treat them age appropriately. So it makes them feel invisible, unimportant, like a mistake, or they're the worst kids ever. Everything is changing for them, their bodies, their emotions, their friends, their likes and dislikes. Oh, don't get me started on the new foods they likes and the stuff they baked their whole life and now they don't eat it no more. That's enough to give you whiplash. But, I mean, let them know, hey, this is weird, but it's normal. Reassurance from you can help normalize the awkwardness and just stay present with them, even when they pull away, because they might act like they don't need you, but they do, and your presence matters, even when it feels unnoticed and unwanted. The teen years, they require a different kind of strength. My best advice: protect the relationships. Not every conversation needs to happen right now. This is the time where you're going to want to take a minute, regroup, and then approach it because there's going to be bigger things than just, I forgot my homework, or hey, we got to go to the store, I got a project due tomorrow. There's going to be bigger issues we have to tackle here. Some of the best talks are in the car or late at night, and most of them are spontaneous. You don't see it coming, they don't see it coming. When they feel safe to share and they know you're not gonna, what did my kids say, spaz out on you, or I don't want to lecture, they'll share more. But it is so hard. You have to prepare yourself for that. How to have that resting face of yeah, without having those facial expressions that they know all too well. You may not even realize you're making them, and then they're like, "Okay, no, I can see you're getting mad, so never mind." You 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 got to practice that because it can shut them down in a heartbeat. Been there, done that. But you definitely don't have to pretend that you have all the answers. Let them be honest with them. Let them know I'm learning too. I make mistakes too. And you know what? I understand that you're confused and you've got these emotions that are going crazy and you're just having a bad day and you can't really name why you are. Because guess what? I have those too. Maybe confide in them. That way they can see that it's okay to confide in you. I've tried that with mine. I just go sit down and I'm like, can I talk to you for a second? I'm just having a really bad day and I don't know. Maybe I need like a hug or like a minute to myself. I'm not sure. And then I'll just kind of be like, well, thank you for listening. And then I get up to leave and I get a hug. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And I'm not, I'm going to be fully honest here. Sometimes I'm not having a bad day. Sometimes I'm not struggling, but I can see that they are. So I create an opportunity. Sometimes it works and they clue me on what's going on and we can work through it together. And sometimes they don't say anything, but you can see that just them knowing that you're struggling too, it helps them because they like to know they're not alone, same as us. Life is hard for everybody. I guess since we covered all the other ones, we might as well add some marriage tips in here because there isn't exactly a manual on that either. Nobody tells you how your marriage is going to change after you have kids, or maybe you had kids before you were married, you was a single mom like me, you have kids, and you blend a family, and now you got a husband and kids all at the same time, and oh, you're a fish out of water. There's no book, and there should be a book. Like a crack the husband code book would be awesome. I could probably write one of those. I probably should. I communication, and it sounds like, seriously, communication. My husband don't communicate. My partner doesn't communicate. Well, not talking about them. Talking about us. They can't read our minds. So we got to develop this habit to where we're comfortable saying things like, I need help today, or I need a nap, or I need support, not a solution. I tell my husband, ride or die, man. If I tell you I'm about to go put sugar in somebody's gas tank, even though I'm really not, I know it's wrong. I know I can't do that, but I'm venting. And I need you to be like, I got the funnel. So sometimes I just tell him, funnel. And he'll laugh and he'll be like, okay. And then he gets with the program and he gives me the support I need. And then I vent and then I feel better and I can get over it. Or sometimes I'm like, can you just put your logic in your pocket for just a second? Because I don't need the logic part because I already know that. But right now, I need to overreact or freak out for a moment. And I need you to be with me. We need to be on the same page. And I have learned that when I do that, he's able to give me what I need in that moment. And it not only helps me for what I need in that moment, but it helps him and us because now he's not confused trying to help me when I don't want help. And now I'm not mad at him because he tried to give me help and he didn't just say, like, I got the funnel, let's ride at dawn, you know. So it saves our relationship too. And it creates some awesome opportunities for some impromptu laughs. It's not a us versus them, guys. We can't keep score. There can't be no scoreboard. And those short moments, they matter. Whether it's a check-in, a laugh, or a hug. My husband always goes to sleep before all of the rest of the house because he gets up so early. So when he goes and lays down, I've created a monster. He'll go lay down and watch his crime videos, his crime stories, because I created a monster. I got him into true crime, and now he is some days worse than me. I watch the trials. He watches the little snippets, but he'll go and he'll watch his videos. So I try to make sure, maybe not every night of the week, but I try to make sure 2 or 3 times a week I set aside 5 or 10 minutes to just go chill with him. Sometimes we just talk. Sometimes I go in there and just tell him something funny that one of the kids done or something like that. And he knows that that's his time. We could talk about the kids. We could talk about bills. We could talk about anything. But that's me showing him that he's important. And I found that since I started doing that and making it obvious that I'm making time for him, regardless of the subject or whatever we talk about, sometimes I just watch a video with him or like 5 or 10 minutes of it. And then I'm like, well, I got to go clean up the kitchen or this and that. He's getting that reassurance from me, and now he's able to give it back to me. They're humans too, guys. We got to remember that. Strong marriages are not built in big gestures, they're built in the small, consistent ones. And you got to remember that everybody shows love differently. Not everybody's going to do it the same way. But no matter what age your kids are, here's some truth. You are learning, you are adapting, you are doing the best you can with what You have. Some days you're going to feel like a winner. And some days are going to feel straight up like the Hunger Games survival. Both of those count. Mom Genius, it isn't about doing more or looking picture perfect, or you don't even have to look like you have it all together. None of us do. It's about doing what fits, what works for you in this season, because that's going to change. It's always going to change. What works this week, you might have to change it up next week. What works this year, nope, not gonna work next year. You have to be able to grow and adapt, not just with your kids or your family or your husband, but with yourself. You're changing too. So be gentle with yourself. Extend grace. And remember, you're raising humans. You're not checking boxes off of somebody else's list. This is your list. Okay? This is your family. You know what's best. You know what works for you. And what works for me may not work for you. Maybe for you, you need to have coffee with your husband in the morning. Maybe for you, you need to get up before all of your kids early so you can have that me time and your self care before anybody else gets up. That doesn't work for me. We pretty much all roll out at the same time. I tried being up early before everybody else. That did not work for me. That was not self care. That was punishment. For me, it was. But if this episode saved you 5 minutes, or one brain cell, or, a few minutes of sanity, go ahead and give it a like and share it with another mom. And make sure to come back next Monday for some more Mom Genius life hacks, tips, and tricks. But until then, I'll see y'all next time.